Net worth by age 2026. Are you behind or actually ahead? If you're 25, 35, maybe even 45, have you ever stopped and wondered, am I behind financially? You see people online making six figures. You hear about 30-year-olds with $1 million. You scroll past 22-year-old crypto millionaires, and quietly, you start questioning yourself. Today, I'm going to show you the real net worth numbers by age using actual data. And then I'm going to explain something even more important: why most people think they're behind when they're actually right on track. Let's break it down. The data comes from the Federal Reserve Survey of Consumer Finances. And before we go further, there's one thing you need to understand. Average and median are not the same thing. The average gets skewed by millionaires and billionaires. The median shows what the typical American actually has. That difference changes everything. Here's the breakdown. Ages 18 to 24. Median net worth, around $10,000. Average, around $40,000. Ages 25 to 34. Median, about $35,000. Average, roughly $185,000. Ages 35 to 44. Median, about $135,000. Average, over $500,000. Ages 45 to 54. Median, around $247,000. Average, nearly $1 million. Ages 55 to 64. Median, roughly $365,000. Average, well over $1.5 million. Now pause for a second. If you're 32 and you have $80,000 invested, you might feel behind when you see influencers flashing millions. But compared to the median, you're significantly ahead. This is why comparing yourself to the average can destroy your perspective. Because averages are pulled up by extreme outliers, the median shows reality. Here's the truth nobody talks about. Social media compresses time. You see someone who built wealth over 15 years, but it looks like it happened overnight. You see entrepreneurs, but not the 7 failed attempts. You see stock portfolios, but not the years of consistency. And wealth doesn't grow linearly. It grows exponentially. The first $100,000 feels painfully slow. The first $250,000 still feels like a grind. But somewhere between $300,000 and $500,000, compounding starts to accelerate. And that's the part most people quit before reaching. They assume they're behind when they're actually just early in the compounding curve. Let's redefine what ahead really means. There are 3 financial phases most people move through. Phase 1, survival mode. Little to no savings, high debt, living paycheck to paycheck. Phase 2, stability mode. Emergency fund in place. Positive net worth. Investing consistently, even if it's small. Phase 3, compound mode. Investing 15% or more of income. Assets clearly outweigh liabilities. Net worth accelerating year over year. This is where wealth starts working harder than you do. Being ahead isn't about having $1 million at 30. It's about entering compound mode as early as possible. If you're consistently investing, if your net worth is growing each year, if your assets are compounding, you're ahead, even if it doesn't feel like it yet. Now let's be realistic. Not everyone starts from the same place. Income matters. Geography matters. Marriage impacts net worth statistics heavily. Dual income households build wealth faster. Business owners skew averages upward. And tech-heavy investors can see explosive growth in certain cycles. So if you're comparing yourself to someone in Silicon Valley with a $250,000 income and stock options, that's not a fair comparison. Your only real competition is your past self. No matter your age, the formula is simple. Increase income. Control lifestyle inflation. Invest aggressively but intelligently. Stay consistent for a decade or longer. That's it. Wealth isn't built in 12 months. It's built in 10 disciplined years. If you're 25 and investing consistently, you're early. If you're 35 and just getting serious, you're not late. If you're 45 and focused, you still have 20 years of compounding ahead. The key isn't where you stand today, it's whether you stay in the game long enough for compounding to take over. You're probably not as behind as you think. You're likely just earlier in your compounding journey than you realize. The question isn't, am I ahead right now? The real question is, will I stay consistent long enough to become ahead? This is Compound Edge, where we focus on discipline, long-term thinking, and letting compounding do what it does best. I'll see you in the next one.